We've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to claim thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, well, just click the link below and start your simple free check.
Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Robbie with me. We've just beaten Southampton 2-1. Flyer, I keep going to say draw, but we beat them 2-1 here at St Mary's. Final game of the season, Robbie. Wasn't exactly fireworks and an amazing display, but we won the game.
Yeah, won the game. And how did we win the game? We shoot. Martin Odegaard, all season we've been saying shoot. The last two games he shot, what's happened? Goals. You know what I mean? Yeah, we deserved to win it. We dominated the whole game. They scored a very good goal from a corner. You know what I mean? And that tall player there up front, you know. But we dominated the game like completely. But it was an end of season game.
Did it feel like that? Could you see it?
It felt like an end of season game, and you know, I'm just glad that we got the win. And now, yeah, we move on to the summer. You know what I mean? Overall, the season has been disappointing. You know what I mean? I think in the Champions League, I think we did really well to get to the semi-finals. And by the way, let me just big up the women.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable performance by those women.
The first person to do that on this
that was remarkable yesterday. You know what I mean? Winning the Champions League, the way they did it, you know what I mean, from qualification all the way there, beating Real Madrid, beating Barcelona, beating Lyon. You know, they've done it the absolute hardest way, and all those women were absolute colossus. And for anybody who don't know, they're doing a parade. They're doing a trophy lift at the Emirates on Monday. It's a bank holiday Monday. It starts from 10 o'clock. I want everybody to get down there and to salute those women. They were absolutely incredible. But just going back to the men, yeah, you know, did well in the Champions League, but in the league, disappointing. I said it before, I don't think any team could have won the league with the amount of injuries we had. But I'm still disappointed that we didn't do anything in the January transfer window.
Is that more of an issue for you than the summer? Because do you know what, at the time in the summer, like you said, I know you rated it at 7, I know you revised that and changed it, but was it more criminal that it's because if we got a strike in January, maybe we wouldn't be as angry as what we saw in the summer window?
Yeah, I think there's two things. I think everybody said in the summer transfer window we should have bought a striker, and we paid the price. You know what I mean? Paid the price with injuries, but we should have bought a striker in. And then in January, I was just a friendly argument with some guys over there, and I'm saying in January we did nothing. And what did we get? Nothing. You do nothing, you get nothing, right? So I know Julian was there hobnobbing with Josh Kroenke today. I hope he told him the transfer window is open. Well, it's not open, it's going to be open next week, Sunday. Spend. No joke in this window. Right, I know they brought in some players last window. This transfer window, if we're going to win the league next season, and that is the aim, spend. First up, a striker. Victor Gyökeres is out there. He's available. He's definitely leaving Sporting. We know that. I don't think he'll go to Manchester United because they've got no European football and they're rubbish, right?
I had that one in.
They are rubbish, you know what I mean? Even though they won today, but they are rubbish, right? Right?
Thanks to Emi Martinez.
Go and get Victor Gyökeres, bring him in. That is the best striker. I mean, for a minute, Newcastle today,
I was saying, not Isak.
The way they were falling apart today, right? I was thinking maybe we go and get Isak, but they have qualified by default into the Champions League, right? So go and get a striker, right? We've been lacking that striker now for a few seasons. That's the first thing. Get a left winger, bring in a defensive midfielder, and I'd even go and get another striker. I think we should get 2 strikers. Let's have options. That's what Liverpool had this season. They had options. When they had games that they were struggling in, they can bring on Gakpo or, you know what I mean, Nunez or Jota, Harvey Elliott. What are we bringing on Sterling? So we've got to address that. I would seriously get 2 strikers or get somebody who can play as a second striker like an Mbeumo or somebody like that. But we must. If that transfer window closes and we haven't got a striker in,
what are you going to do? Well,
there's nothing I can do, but it will mean that fans will turn very quickly if it ain't working out. Go and get. You can see we've got a great side. 27 injuries we've had this season. We still somehow managed to finish second. Tottenham have had 21 injuries this season. They're 4th from bottom. these successful Tottenham Hotspur team, how they managed to jammy their way to try and claim they've had a good season. They lost 4-1 today at home. That's 22 defeats they've had, right? And they've jammied their way to winning a trophy. But listen, fair play to them. They've won the trophy, that's it. But we've got a damn good side, and it bodes well for next season. We don't need to add much, but now add some elite quality in them forward areas, right? And we can go and win this thing.
You spoke about Tottenham there, and I'd love to ask you this question. I've asked everyone this question, but not everyone's been overhearing it. So I want to ask your thoughts on it. Tottenham obviously won the Europa League. Would you swap say Arsenal won the Champions League this season but finished 16th or 17th, would you swap that for what you got?
Well, yeah, that's a Champions League. That's the elite competition. You know, I don't want to really, listen, I don't want to sound like, listen, they've won a trophy, right? So you've got to big them up for that. I don't like bigging up top. You've got to big them up for that. They won a trophy, right? But let's be real, that's a second-tier trophy. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in it. For anybody who, wants to be in that, that means we shouldn't have finished second. We should have finished where Nottingham Forest have finished, so that we be in the Europa League next year, so that we can compete to be in that. That's not where we want to be. We want to be in the elite competition, which is the Champions League. As my brother said, the analogy of it is you've got two boxers, one's fighting for a world title, the other one's fighting for a British title. They won the British title, you could say. We missed out, we lost when we find the world title. But I want to be going for world titles. I don't want to be playing in the Europa League. I don't want to be playing in the Conference League. Yeah, we can make it easier for ourselves and try and play in those things and give ourselves a better chance of winning those competitions. But I want to be playing in the Champions League. And that's what we're in. But now that we're in it, we need to give ourselves our best chance to try and win that. And more importantly, I feel, the league. Right, because we're close in the league. In the last 3 seasons now, we've finished second. But to get over the line, we need an elite striker. And when I look around at the moment, Gyökeres is the best option. That's available. His goal-scoring record is undeniable. Bring him in. You know what? Bring him in and it fails, and then you say, "Boy, at least I tried." But don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do.
We've seen many seasons of that.
And there's been a lot of talk about Sesko. If it's Sesko, I'll take it, but me personally, I want Gyökeres, because Sesko, I hear people talking about ceiling. Right, I want no ceiling, man. I don't want to be painting no ceilings, man. I want the guy that's going to get us over the line, because we can't afford to wait no more.
Does one striker guarantee you get over the line?
Sorry?
One striker, does that guarantee you get over the line?
Well, I think a striker, and I want attacking options. You know what I mean? If you go and get a Rodrigo, if you go and get an Mbeumo, if you go and get players of that ilk that score goals, that are goal threats, that's what we were lacking this season. We were missing out on that. We have to address that, because if we don't address that, we're going to end up like how we ended up this season, which is second. I don't want to be second again.
Second again, Julian said something interesting. I want to get your thoughts. He said, second 3 times in a row. He said, I saw that in the 90s. He said, but then Wenger came on and won invincibles and doubles. So maybe that is what he feels is happening here. Is that? Yeah,
listen. We've seen other managers knock on the door for a while and then go on and win and dominate and stuff like that. It does happen sometimes, but
do you have that feeling that feels like that's good?
Only for me, if we go and get what is required. I mean, we're lacking. Look how many games we drew. You know what I mean? Look how many games we drew this season. Too many games, we drew. You know what I mean? So imagine if we turned half of those into victories. You know what I mean? So we've got to go and turn it around.
And get a striker, I'm assuming. So I get that. And get a striker. So I understand that, because that could be the turning time. Well, on that note, Robbie, it's been a disappointing season towards the end, but thank you for your time. I'm going to end it here. Thank you for your time. Because I don't know what he said.
I'm confused. I feel sorry. You know what? For the Southampton fans, fair play to them, man. They turned out today, right? Bro, you know what I mean? And they finished bottom of the league, and they knew they were going to be bottom for a long time. So credit to the Southampton fans for turning out today.
Just quickly, actually, before we close, any players you think, we maybe could have held on to them? We saw T&E play really well today. Jorginho obviously got a send-off, but didn't play. But T&E, though?
Both of them have been good servants. I think, Kieran Tierney's a very unlucky player. He's suffered through injuries. I mean, he put in some outstanding balls today, scored a goal as well. And I feel it for him, man, because he hasn't really done much wrong since joining Arsenal. He's just had injury after injury after injury. Even remember, he started this season injured.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best, and I hope he goes on to do what we know he can do, because I think I don't want to disrespect the Scottish League, but I think he can still be playing in the Premier League. He's that good.
Yeah.
And then Jorginho, I think, listen, he came in, a lot of people were against that signing, another Chelsea reject, people were saying. I think he done brilliantly for us, never let the team down, was a really integral part of the team, and I wish him all the best as well, But now, with some of those players leaving, Zinchenko might go as well, and again, remember, he was one of those players that kind of was responsible for the renaissance at Arsenal, turning us around, getting us back, challenging for league. So he's done brilliantly as well. But this summer, spend. Go out there, get the players that are required to win us this league.